I guess I was gonna say me. I feel like that's the cop out. Like, I want a copy of my book first. I'd keep one. One definitely goes to my parents.
I love the word proud. I love it because it is this word that symbolizes our passions, something we care about, something that we really are proud of, we love to have done. And ultimately, creating something like a book is one of those moments. It's one of those moments when you see your name on it, you realize how important it is. And ultimately, it proves the work that you've done over the last many months means something. It's showing off your work for others to see, to judge, to be a part of. And so I always love to ask first-time authors, who gets the first copy? And it's amazing to hear the results of these questions. You get the joy of the parent who supported someone along the way, or someone important who helped inspire them to take this path. But more than anything, realizing that asking the question of who's going to get that first copy really does let the author show us the pride that they really have in this creation event that they've had that really does give them something to be proud of.
Definitely my mom and my grandma. They get the first one. Offer it.
What do you write in there too? What's the inscription you write?
I can't. It won't be as special if I share.
Yeah, good.
But no, like those two women have been influential in so many different ways in my development and being able to raise a young man on their own in respective rights.
My mom.
My mom. Oh, my mom and dad, yeah.
How come?
I mean, playing the drums is not a quiet instrument, and they've let me do it since the 3rd grade. You know, with thin walls in the house, just putting up with my antics. So for their support, letting me follow my passion to whatever degree it was. You know, if I wanted to go to music school, they would support it. But you know what? All through the years, they've supported me pursuing it as a hobby and all that.
I think the first copy of this book is probably going to go to my mom. She's been super helpful throughout the process, not only just being someone that I can bounce ideas off of, but also getting down to the nitty-gritty and helping me with grammar mistakes and things like that. She's always like my #1 fan, so I'm really excited to send her a copy. I think a funny ad-lib that we always say in my family is my dad was like featured in a local magazine when he was like in his mid-40s, 50s, and my grandma was coming to visit, and she was living with us at the time. And whenever guests would come over, she would always have the page flipped open to the page that he was on. So like I always joke with my mom, and she always jokes with me that she's going to be doing the same thing at our coffee table at home. So I'm really excited to give her a copy.
The first copy of this book is actually going out to Deval Patrick, former governor of Massachusetts and now the managing director of Bain Capital's newest fund, which is a social impact investing fund. So the fund invests in social enterprises, which is a topic within my book, so we made that connection, and I'll be mailing him my book first thing.
My grandmother, Peg Hine, who was definitely the driving force behind this book. It was the book that she actually wanted to write herself and realized that that would be really challenging. And so I actually took on the task of writing it. I never imagined that it would get this far, but she's the first person that I want to hand a copy of the book to.
Oh my gosh, my family is so excited. My grandparents who live in London want to fly out for the book launch, and I think they are going to do that. Yeah, my family is all extremely excited, especially because it directly talks about their story, so I think they really feel a part of it, and the inspiration is because of them. So I'm glad I kind of got to honor them in that way, because sometimes maybe they might not realize how much I appreciate all of the things that they have done, and I wouldn't be here without all of their immigration struggles, so I think it's been awesome to share it with them.
So I already gave out my manuscript actually to the CEO of Tinder. So shout out to Ellie Seaman, I hope you're reading it. But the actual physical copy, I'm gonna give it to my parents because they're the first and the last chapter, and I think they'll really appreciate what I had to say.
Oh gosh, Kirsten Green is my idol. She is a very big VC in the e-commerce space. So if she even gets a whiff of it, I'd probably cry.
My grandfather, because He's been a tremendous supporter of mine since I was very young. He's the economist in the family, and a lot of, I think, my interest in some of these topics really is inherited. So he's gonna get the first copy.
It's a surprise for my mom, which is important to me because she really is, and I say this in my book, she's like the biggest inspiration of it. Like, her strength throughout all that we've gone through is more than I can grasp. And I think, you know, you have feelings about your parents throughout your whole life, and so it was really hard trying to get them all on paper. And for my late dad, you know, I kind of felt like I can write anything, like I really can. You know, frustrations I have or things I hold on to, and so that was really emotional, but in a special way, of kind of like a letter that will never actually be read by him, but that I feel like summed up how I felt. And then to my mom, kind of like a big boost of being like, this entire thing, at the very end of my letter I say this whole book started and ended with you, and that's true. Because seeing how she raised 5 daughters, how she's reacted to a lot of hardship is the biggest inspiration for me. And then to wrap it up with a letter to her saying like, you're not my mom, well, you are my mom, but you're not just this, you're not just that, you are all of these things to me that you're the reason I did this and that I have this accomplishment. And it was powerful, and I hope it's powerful for her too.